Welcome to the channel. I'm Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, and this is a part of a series called Sons Who Love Their Mum to Death. In this story, we have a mum pushed down an embankment in Riverside Park and dies. The son is charged with murder. An argument between a mother and her son ended in tragedy when she was allegedly shoved down an embankment in Riverside Park. EMS rushed her to Harlem Hospital, but she could not be saved. Cops charged her son with second-degree murder. Well, she was rushed to the Harlem Hospital, and this is the Riverside Park here, where she was pushed off the embankment. I'm not sure if we can get a look from here. If you don't mind, we'll go down and see where... Oh, she's probably been pushed into these rocks and hit her head, I'd say. Oh, no, the Riverside Park's up quite high, isn't it? She might have been pushed off that embankment. We'll just have a look. Oh, yes, that park's up quite high. So if we... Can we zoom out? We'll go back out, viewers, just to get a little bit more of a picture. There's the park. I'd say she's been pushed off this embankment, which is quite a steep drop. We'll go here and have a closer look. Yes, there is a very high embankment up in there by the look of that. And this has caused the mother to, unfortunately, pass away. There's the Riverside Park there. I'll try and find another part where we can have a look here. We'll stop, try and go down there and have a look. There's the entry to the park. Yes, and it does fall away, one way or another. It does fall away down into the park. So there's several tiers before you get to the water. But a 44-year-old woman was killed when she was pushed down an embankment in Riverside Park on July 14th. And cops said the suspect is her own 22-year-old son. Sons who love their mum to death. Now, this is more common than what you think. These mothers spoil their sons to the point where rationale leaves. They build these what's called covert emotional incestual relationships with their sons. And they spoil their sons and they give them too much. Then when the supply runs out, be it emotional, financial, somewhere to live even, these sons will, worst case scenario, kill their mothers. They will torment them, harass them. They will abuse them mentally and physically. I've seen these boys bail their mothers up in corners, screaming at them, holding them around the neck. Police have had to be called. But this isn't uncommon. A lot of these mothers, just to keep the peace, will supply money for the son's drugs and all the rest of it. And then when the money runs out, it's not going to go well for the mother because she's the supply. She's the reason for the problem. That's what happens in their mind. Cops said that around 4:13 in the vicinity of W165th Street, Riverside Drive, they responded to a call after witnesses reported a woman, later identified as Vianel Garcia, had been pushed down a grass embankment, suffering grave injuries. And this is what these people will do. Now, I'm going to just see if I can find this on Google Earth. Come with me, viewers, for this. We'll launch Earth. And well, that is Riverside Drive, but this happened at about 1:16 165th. Let's go to 165th. Riverside Park. And that'll bring us to... Well, it's not going to show us, is it? But it's in this vicinity here, viewers. We saw that earlier. She was rushed to a Harlem hospital but perished from her injuries. She died. Garcia was reportedly in a verbal argument with her son, 22-year-old Miguel Deval, when he allegedly shoved his mother down the rough incline. Now, for whatever reason, I can tell you this young man was not getting his way, and unfortunately, a lot of the time, the mother has spoiled these adult men to the point where they will, if they need to, bring physical harm, if not the demise of their mother if they don't get their way. Police from the 33rd Precinct took Deval into custody and booked him on second-degree murder charges later that night after his mother was sadly pronounced dead. The suspect lived in a shelter in Washington Heights, a short distance from the crime scene. He was already facing charges for assault and harassment against another resident in the shelter in June and had been freed without bail in that case. Police had not advanced a motive for the incident. Ladies and gentlemen, just let me say to you that a lot of these women do not raise these sons the correct way. They turn them into little husbands, or they spoil them, or they run out of supply and then neglect them. And when the son comes knocking for more supply or for their help or some kind of infantile need that they should have otherwise developed into a place in their life where they should have been getting on with their life, but they're still dependent on their mummy. If they don't get their way, these adult unfortunates, let me put it that way, they will abuse, they will harass, they will vandalize, they will physically abuse along with mental abuse. They'll wreck any relationship the mother's got or financial position that she's had. And then when the mother's got nothing left to give or doesn't want to give any more, it becomes physical, and sometimes it leads to death. Sons who love their mums to death.